Have you been struggling with class management and you think to yourself, the students just don't care, or you just feel like a failure altogether, feel like maybe I just shouldn't sub, just isn't right for me? You're not alone. We've all been there in some sort of way where we feel like a failure. You're not a failure. However, there are 5 things that might keep you in this loop of feeling like a failure. And if you are doing number 5, you need to stop right now. So number 1 is just sitting at the desk and being on your phone. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with sitting at the desk for a few minutes. Maybe you're doing your sub notes or writing something to the teacher or finding something like a Band-Aid at the desk, whatever. Sometimes I sat a little bit too long. Sometimes I felt a migraine coming on, or I didn't feel good, or my monthly flow visit came. And I sat a little too long. But other than that, I would always use my proximity and walk around the room. Make sure that you are doing that, because students are students and they are going to test boundaries and be on things that they're not supposed to be on, especially since technology is extremely important. And if you're on your phone, it's okay if you're like, you get a text and you know, like you have an Apple Watch and you keep getting texts over and over again. You silence your phone, or maybe you got a text saying your grandma's in the hospital. Okay, text back really quick. But to be on your phone playing whatever game or just ignoring the students is completely wrong. And people do this. I've had a lot of substitute teachers say, like,
I do high school and they just don't care. I don't get paid enough to tell them to get off of their phones.
Okay, right. We don't get paid enough, but that doesn't mean that you can't try. You are the leader in the classroom. And if you're not trying, then what are you even doing? And don't stoop down to their level. Stooping down to their level and just being on your phone, there's no use for that. Number 2 is not setting expectations. So if you've been on my channel here, you know that I like to say that you need to set your expectations. If you don't, it's not the end of the world, and you're only human, because I did this. And I have some stories in my playlist under Classroom Confessions that shows what happens when I didn't give expectations to my students. And it's normal, and we learn from it. But make sure you are setting your boundaries, you're setting your expectations. They are your boundaries, to be honest. It gets the students to understand that you mean business and you're there to help them learn and to help them finish the assignment that they need to get done. Along with not setting expectations, being too nice. If you are too nice, the students are just going to walk all over you like a lovely doormat. And what I will say is, there's nothing wrong with being kind. Absolutely nothing wrong with being kind. I want you to be kind. I want you to be approachable to the students. They need a safe place. They need to know that they feel welcome in the classroom with you, and they need to feel safe. Absolutely the most important thing ever. However, being too nice, letting them be, being over accommodating with them, not saying no when you need to, etc. It ends up becoming a class management problem, and you're just going to feel completely like a failure. You're going to get burnt out. It's important to remember that be kind with your actions and not your weakness. I will say that again. Be kind with your actions and not your weakness. So if you're being too nice, it might be a weakness that you have. I'm sure in life we've had someone take advantage of our kindness in that way. And that's what I mean. Number 4 is yelling. Yelling does not get you anywhere. Nowhere. And every once in a while, if you are saying something to not do something to the class and they're doing it, and you raise your voice out of humanity, if that, you know what I mean, being a human, you're going to naturally yell, but don't continue yelling at them. what that's going to do is just create more attitude towards you, and that student or students are going to take advantage of that, and they're just going to keep you going and going. And now that there is social media out there, you do not want to be recorded. As we know that has happened, it's ended up on the news. You do not want them to record you and be on TikTok, and then you're fired over something stupid like put away your phone, or like I told you 6 times to go and get your workbook and you didn't. Like, it's frustrating, but please just have your patience with the students. If they're not doing something, write their names down. But again, just be firm, and be firm with them, and never ever yell. And going into the 5th one is threatening. Now, I have had some substitute teachers tell me that they threaten students. And threatening meaning they're taking away their recess. They're saying, if you don't do this, and if you don't stop talking, I'm not letting you go on the field trip that I know that you're going on to next week. It's just going to cause that situation to escalate. I understand where you're coming from in a fact that, like, if the students aren't listening to you and you're trying to give directions and you say, hey, you're not going to have any recess. Well, one, you don't know the students. What if that student's on an IEP and you just didn't know, and they have a hard time controlling their behavior, and now you just took something away that they actually really enjoy. Threatening in general, just you're making it fearful. You don't want fear. So that's why we have incentives, and that's why we have positive reinforcement. So that way we can get the students to do what we need them to do. Reasonings behind why you should not threaten. It's sad that I have to even say this, but some people don't know, and it might just be part of you just thinking that you are being strict, and being strict's okay. It's just, this is not okay in threatening. It's unprofessional, and it can have negative consequences on you. And this would be a reflection on you, not the students. You will have a loss of authority and respect. Threats can undermine your credibility, and it makes it harder to establish positive rapport with the students. Respect is earned through consistency, fairness, and clear expectations rather than fear. The escalating of behaviors. So again, threatening students can lead to defiance, rebellion, or a breakdown in class management. Students may react negatively, and they will challenge your authority. And when they challenge your authority, it makes it much harder to gain control. Threatening damages their learning environment. A classroom should feel safe and supportive. When you are threatening, it causes a climate of fear and anxiety, which can hinder learning. And it also discourages participation, especially in really good students. And they may end up having anxiety over the fact that you're going to take something away or whatever it is. Professional consequences. Threatening students can lead to the students complaining, parents calling in and complaining about you. Administrators, that is, will be talking to you. If you're with a agency like Kelly Education or ESS, anything like that, they will be calling you and they will cut you off. This will jeopardize your job and future opportunities to be a substitute teacher. And lastly, legal and ethical risks. So depending on your threat, on the nature of your threat that you have made, you can face disciplinary or legal consequences. Schools do have strict policies regarding student treatment, and any perceived intimidation could be considered misconduct. So instead of using threats, focus on positive reinforcement, having clear consequences, and effective classroom management strategies. I promise you that it will encourage positive behavior from the students. Here is a link to my classroom management playlist for you to try at least one or a few things. I know that not all of them work because we are all different people, and that's the beauty of class management, is that we have the opportunity to try to figure out what works for our students and what doesn't. So take a look at this playlist and you can click what level you enjoy the most and which will help you the most. And I will see you in the next video.